People say don't judge, but at the same time, you also need a level of judgment in order to protect the people in your life and also your life. And so today I want to get into two types of judgment. One is destructive and the other is protective. We need the latter. So keep on watching if you want to know what those are. The destructive type of judgment is an egoic judgment. It's coming from your ego. So for most of us, we tend to look at somebody else and we think that we are better than them because we are more, and this was this was me for a very long time, and I still have to fight with myself. I'm not gonna lie. When I see somebody who is of low consciousness and they're not aware of what they're doing, not that I'm better than them, but it's more like I can see more than you, and why can't you see it? There is a type of judgment in that, but then I always come back to, well, this is why we're here. That we're here to learn lessons. If you find yourself doing this, catch yourself, because a lot of us do it and we're not aware of it. So the more that you're aware of these patterns, the more that you're able to rectify it and actually do better and grow. If you feel like you judge somebody in order to feel better about yourself, then that is something to be looked at within. Also, you tend to label really easily and quickly. You tend to criticize, just go in for the criticism instead of understanding that person and why they're doing what they're doing. And also you look down on them. So all of these things comes from your egoic self, not from the truth, not from God, not from love. It comes from fear. It comes from being misaligned with your soul and thinking that when you live your life out of this lens, then your life in some ways becomes better than other people's, right? So like one thing that I have learned is that no matter who the hell you are, no matter if you're the most spiritual human being, you're mindful, you do meditation, or you're somebody who, follows a type of religion or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Even if you're an atheist, every single soul that reincarnates, we come into this world and we are all going to suffer. We all are going to have an amount of suffering, and that is something that is inevitable. We cannot change that about our lives. We literally choose the body that we're going to reincarnate into, the vessel, the family, because we know that in order for our soul to evolve and grow and learn, because this is what this earth is, we're an earth school, welcome, we need to go through some amount of pain, because I don't want to keep on saying heaven as if I mean, we all have been there. Heaven is funny. It's not really heaven. It's just another realm. I just call it heaven because it just makes, it's the easiest way for me to explain it. But what I'm trying to say is that when we're in the other realm of just magnificence and just unfathomable love and acceptance, and it's like, what, you love me this, like, it's like, what, like, this amount of love exists? It's so shocking to the humankind because we are not used to that amount of love, except for our mother. And some people don't even have that amount of love because some of their mothers, either they pass away or they just are not they don't know how to love, right? In that realm, we're unable to suffer because that is our immortality. We're there, in that realm forever. But in order for our soul to grow, we need to go get into these different planets in order to learn specific lessons. And as I told you guys many of times, I've heard in a lot of NDEs, which are near-death experiences, is that Earth is the most difficult school. So if you're finding it difficult, you're valid in that it is difficult. It is meant to be difficult, and your soul has chosen to come here. Especially in this moment in time in history is so pivotal, and every single soul that has come here, it's like there is a bigger purpose for you than you can see. You're not just here to work a 9-to-5 job or work at a coffee shop. I mean, those things obviously are great, but I'm saying there's more to your life than just that. And also, this just came to me, judgment and comparison in a way goes hand in hand, because in order for me to judge somebody, especially if I'm somebody who is looking down on them, I need my perspective and my life's experience to look down on them, which is a type of comparison. I'm comparing them to myself. And so whenever you live your life of, you're constantly comparing people's lives to your life, and, this thing happened to her, but this thing didn't happen to me. So, and when you're constantly living a life that is framed based on, she didn't get this, but I did, and so I'm so much better than her, that is going to be your downfall. That is going to be super destructive, even though it doesn't look like it right now, but eventually it is going to be destructive. And the one thing that you all need to know is that we all have our own specific paths. We all are running our own races. So when you're constantly comparing my race to your race, it's going to really take you down the wrong path, and it's going to make some people even get depressed by comparing. And one of the reasons why you can't compare our races, because I am designed in a specific way in order to complete my specific mission. And same with you. You are designed in a specific way to complete your specific mission. So if I'm going to compare my personality and my accolades and whatever, my accomplishments to yours, we're never going to get there, because we don't know what the hell we planned before we came here. So we're always going to be and it's going to feel like a sense of lack in your life. Before I go to the next point, I do want to mention this was me. I lived my life like this for a very long time. I used to constantly compare, why does my friend have a house and a happy family and money, and I'm sitting over here with two crazy parents who are constantly fighting, and we have no money, and we're broke, and I'm depressed, and I'm in my closet crying, like, why me? I was always thinking like that. Why, God, why me? And that took me down a darker loop. It just kept getting darker and darker and darker, because I didn't understand that whatever's happening here, there is a purpose. and it sucks to say it, because people, I think they don't understand it, and it's hard for me to explain it. But every single thing in your life, even when, I know this is going to be dark, but I'm going to say it, but even when Oprah got molested as a child, and I've been molested myself, so I understand the pain of it. But even that for Oprah wasn't wasted, because she used that pain that she had to have compassion for the people that she was interviewing later down the line. Again, I'm not condoning any of this. I'm just trying to share with you what my thoughts are on the painful experiences, and how instead of staying there, we can transmute it into something where you're able to help another human being, which is really the reason why we all are here. The second type of judgment is discernment. This is our protective judgment, which is going to serve us. This is when, instead of straight away jumping to a conclusion of who this person is, we try to understand them, we try to talk to them, we try to observe them and listen to them and watch their actions, watch their patterns. And then we make a decision after that. We don't just straight away look at a 2-second clip on Instagram Reel and say, oh, this is this person and this is a horrible person. No, you get to know why they're saying what they're saying, and they have been maybe, they've gone through something painful with that, whatever, they're talking about, or they've been conditioned, or you don't know the childhood of that person. And I think we seldom, we don't think about that. How is this person raised? What are the values they were raised with? We straight away go to hating, anger, judgment. And again, that all comes from fear, right? All of these things are connected back to fear. So we all have a choice on this planet Earth. We either choose fear or we choose love. The choice is yours. That's why we all get free will. Discernment is about watching how somebody treats you, watching how they live their life. When they say, hey, these are my values, do they actually follow through with it? Or do they actually, can you connect the dots to what they're doing in this life, in this material world? Or are they just telling you things to appease you and to get you hooked. And from that, you get to choose what you allow into your life. We all have a decision to make. And if you don't judge at all and you let anybody into your life because you're so desperate for love and you're so desperate for attention and you're so desperate for a person in your life, then that is not kindness or being a good person or whatever. That is a lack of boundaries. That is a lack of self-respect. And ultimately, it's a lack of discernment. And you're basically not protecting yourself. You don't judge to feel superior than somebody else, but you judge in order to protect your peace, to protect your child's peace, to protect your family's peace. So you're coming at it from a very different lens. And that is what I want you to take out of this video. What is your judgment based on? Because we all judge. We're human beings at the end of it, right? Like you meet somebody, then you go back to your friend and you say, hey, this is what I felt about her or him. And it happens. Like, I think I also believe that it is important to talk about these things, right? When we go to the complete opposite side of the spectrum, where we say we shouldn't even think a thought about another person. And no, we should talk about these things as long as you're not coming from hate and anger and suddenly jumping to conclusions. And especially women, we thrive on talking about how we feel. We're just, all of our friends are mini therapists, and that's how we survive. Otherwise, we literally will go nuts. And men usually find women who are good at listening. Well, usually. And anyways, that's a whole other topic. To conclude, these are the two types of judgments. One is out of your ego and one is from your discernment. And I just want you to reflect a little bit on what you find is your or where is your judgment coming from. I also want to leave you guys with a quote from Jim Rohn. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend your time with. You are literally, look at your friend group right now. The next one is from the Bible. Bad company corrupts good character. And I definitely witnessed this when I was in high school, and I had friends who were not the best influence to me. And lastly, from Johann, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, Wolfgang. Tell me with whom you associate, and I will tell you who you are. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, do not forget, I do offer one-on-one sessions. The link is down below, how to work with me. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in my next one.